What is up, everybody? I am Get Flanked, and today I have a video for the beginner marathon players, and especially anybody who's playing solo and maybe new to extraction shooters as a whole. What I'm going to be doing in this video is going over a full run that I recently captured, and I'll stay here with you, going over my decisions, the thought process, why I do the things that I do, and the goal here is really just to pass along a mindset to people who are new to the game that's going to help you survive more of your runs and help you figure out that kind of decision-making process that goes into playing this game as a solo player. Now, that doesn't mean that everything I do in this run is perfect. I'm sure I make some mistakes, but I still think a lot can be passed on here to a newer player that's going to help you and get you in that right mindset. All right, let's get into this run now, and we are working on a contract. It's actually on the screen right now, so we can pause this. Protect and Destroy 2 is the contract we're working on. In a single run, we have to download malware from a terminal in the Westgate Gatehouse. We have to submit a dropship request south of Canal, and then we have to upload malware to the UESC dropship. I have a guide for this quest up separately where I show how to complete this, but we're just gonna be kind of walking through me working on this contract now. So 3 objectives, that's our main goal for this run, is we want to complete this contract. And that's important. If you're new to extraction shooters, every run you go in, you need to have a goal. Maybe that goal is you're just going in to loot. Maybe that goal is you're going in to get kills. For me, my goal is to complete this contract, and my play style and everything about all my decision making is going to be built around that goal. So getting into the run now, I'm spawning into Dire Marsh here, and one of the first things I want to do is open up the map and my loadout, and I think that gives us a good opportunity to talk about loadout. So we are in the loadout now. We'll pause it. So this is my loadout, and for my level, and probably yours if you're watching this, this is kind of a juiced kit that I'm bringing in. I've got a blue gun, the Bully SMG. I've really been liking that gun so far. I've got a blue shield, I've got blue cores, 1 blue implant there, lots of ammo, a self-revive, you know, 5 shield charges, so a blue backpack. This is a juicy kit for me. I'm kind of like bringing a lot into this raid. I know it's not like gold and stuff like that, but for me at this level, I'm bringing some good gear, and that's going to increase my odds of survival. You know, I'm going into this run trying to complete a contract, and I'm bringing good gear to give me better odds of survival. And you know, if you find yourself constantly dying, you know, and you're running sponsored kits, I know it's easy to get into that. You're not risking anything with a sponsored kit, but you're also an easier kill. And I think you're going to see as this raid goes along where this kit saves my life a couple times. So just wanted to touch on the loadout really quick. All right, now we are going to mark where we're heading on the map. So the first objective was over at the Westgate Gatehouse. So we're marking that on the map, and we're going to head that direction. All right, so I just took an advanced mechanics kit, and the reason for that is because this map has a lot of the toxic plants around, and I seem to always be running into them. So I just take this to protect me from those plants ahead of time. And if you're not paying attention to this type of utility in the game as far as the consumable utility, they're really strong, and you should think about using them more. All right, so I just want to pause it right there and talk about movement in the early part of a run. The early part of the run is so consequential because there's never a time when there's more players alive. As the run goes on later, you have players that exfil, players that kill other players, and the player number decreases as the run goes on. Now, rooks come in later, and that's kind of an asterisk to that statement, but the beginning of a run, everybody's spawning in towards the outside, and movement levels are high. Everybody's trying to get towards their objectives or where they want to go. So in the beginning of a run, you need to be careful about running with your knife out. You notice I'm not doing that. I will do that later in the run, but right now I'm keeping my gun up. I'm ready for a fight because I know there's never a time in this run where I'm more likely to run into people than right now, especially as I'm cutting through a POI. All right, that kill was 100%. I heard them first. I stopped and I waited. If I'd been sprinting, maybe they hear me first. So that comes back to that being careful early in the run, moving slowly, not making very much noise, just being as quiet as possible. So I hit that really quick, I loot quick, and I get out of there. I just made noise. It's very likely that somebody else is nearby and heard that and might be coming to chase the shots. All right, so I don't know if that person was chasing the shots or not, but they were definitely close. And if I'd still been there, you know, looting slowly over that body, I could have been a very easy kill for them. So early run, you got to get a kill, get fast, get out of there. You should have a timer going off in your head every time you make noise that somebody heard that and they're heading your way. So you need to get out of there. So I get the second kill, and I think this is really where my kit and the good gear I brought saved my life. I think the extended mag there probably saved my life. I missed a lot of those shots, and I ended up getting a headshot late into that mag, and part of this kit is an extended mag. I got 40 rounds with my bully SMG. So maybe, you know, the blue shield helped as well. You know, if I'm on a free kit, do I get that kill? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. So that's where the kit comes in handy. Bringing better gear increases your odds of survival. Now, once again, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to loot quick, and I'm going to get out of here because I've just made a lot of noise. But not before I heal. Always make sure that you heal up and you try to get yourself ready for another fight before you get greedy and loot. Okay, did you notice what I did there? I think that's very subtle but important. It's about resource management. And in these extraction shooters, resource management is really important. So I needed to heal, but I didn't need to heal that much. So I switched over to a depleted patch kit and healed with that. And then I switched back to my main patch kit. And the goal there is I want to be ready. If I get into a fight and have to use it on the run, I want to use the big one, not the small one. So being smart, not wasting resources, but also making sure you have the right resources ready in case you get in a gunfight down the line. Okay, so now as we get a little bit further into the run here, I'm bringing out the knife. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable, thinking I can move quickly by, you know, doing the bunny hop with the knife, taking a little bit more risk. But I've already killed 2 players, so that's 2 players down, and, you know, more time has gone on, so I'm feeling a little more comfortable with this. So that turret just saw me. I'm just trying to not make noise with it. And now I hear another turret shooting at a different player. So that means there's somebody close. That turret sees me. I destroy it. So really, at this point, I know there's a player close to me, and they should know that I'm close to them. I just shot and made a lot of noise there, killing that other turret. So again, I'm here to complete a contract, not kill people. So I'm just going to get out of here. They know I'm here. I know they're here. That's, you know, a wash. If I'm in a situation where I have an advantage on a player, sure, I'll go for the kill. But not in this situation. I'm not going to hunt them down. I'm going for my contract. I'm just going to get out of here. That what just happened to the left, I believe that was a Tad's ping. So if I go over there, I'm going to get pinged by a player. It also gives me information that there's a player over there. So I'm aware of that. I've got a player behind me, a player to the left. And yeah, I'm going to try to get away from them right now. And the most important thing I can do right now is not make any noise. And you're going to see as I encounter this AI, I'm trying to get around this AI in a way that I don't make any noise. So I'm just kind of sneaking behind them. I'm also aware there's still a player behind me that was, that turret was shooting at. So I'm looking that way to see if they could be coming behind me. Just melee the tick to make less noise. That's not nearly as loud as shooting at it. So again, we're trying to keep stealth to our advantage. All right, so now that we're close to the objective, we're going to pull up the map to try to figure out where we need to go. If you're not familiar with this screen, this gives you more information on where you need to go. And the additional line of text there gives me a clue as to where it is. It's in one of the gatehouses. So I'm just going to kind of look around for that gatehouse. And I know it's on the road, so I'm heading towards the road. It's pretty clear to me now, looking at it, that the gatehouse is over there, but at the time, it was not. So I kind of waste a little bit of time looking around here, and I'm extremely vulnerable. So that's why I'm sprinting. I'm just trying to, I'm in a vulnerable position, so I'm trying to spend as little time in that vulnerable position as possible. At this point, I kind of look over here, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably the gatehouse, right? And the objective pops up, so now I know I'm in the right spot. Now the question is, how do I get in? And I know there's players and AI close, so I'm just being careful. I see that door is closed. If you're not familiar with these doors, you have to shoot out those red things to the top right of them. There's several across the building. You have to shoot those out, and then the door will open. If I do that, I'm going to make noise, so I'm looking for an alternative way to get in. There's a ladder here. I'm going to try that. And then there's a vent, so this works. This gets me inside much quieter, and turned out to be a good choice. I hit the tripwire there, which was a mistake, and this is where that consumable utility would be handy to have one of these to cancel that out, but I don't have any on me. All right, here's the objective. So objective number 1 down, plug it in there, and get in the malware. Now we're going to pull up the map and ping where we need to go next, which is the canal area. Psych, now we're gonna ping the canal area now that we're out of the building. So that's where we're heading next. I get the extra line of info there. It's in harvester dock number 1. So that's pretty much where we just came from. and we are a good bit into the raid now, so I can take a little bit more risk when moving. I think you'll see as I head towards this next objective, I spend a lot of time with my knife out, running, not quite as careful as I was on the way here, but still trying to create as little noise as possible. Now, another thing you'll notice at this point in the run is that I am looting a little bit more when I'm going through buildings. And again, it just has to do with there's less players involved now. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, so I'm willing to take a little bit more risk. The smoke grenades, I always try to pick them up in case you run into a sticky situation at the exfil. Having that smoke grenade could save my life. All right, so we're looking for Harvester Bay number 1. You can see the numbers there, and I start to realize that I am really there right now. My objective pops up, so I know I'm good. So now we're going to head in here and do objective number 2. Closing the door behind us. That's always good too. Situational. You don't want to always do it, but it's good to think about. So immediately the objective pops up. This is the ship that I have to upload the malware to. I'm going to use my grappling hook to get up here. All right, so there's the contract complete, and I can have fun for the rest of the raid. I still want to survive because I got my good gear, but we got our contract done. That was priority number 1. All right, so we're just looting these bots really quick. Again, we made a lot of noise. Even though it's getting later in the raid, you don't want to hang out after you've made that much noise. So we're just hitting the bodies really quick, and we're going to get out of here. And now we're looking for an exfil. Where are we getting out? We're going to ping it, and we're going to head that direction. when you pick up a new weapon, you just want to make sure it's fully loaded in case you have to use it. So that's what I was doing there.
10 minutes remain.
So this exfil is busy, you can see. I didn't really realize which exfil I was picking, but just for future reference, if you're on Dire Marsh, this exfil seems to kind of always be like this. So this is definitely a very busy exfil. All right, really important there. I moved my smokes over so that I can smoke this exfil as I'm getting out. Again, this exfil is right in the middle of like an arena almost. So any player that hears this noise and gets up on one of those is going to have a great vantage point towards me. I don't feel safe at all. I don't like that I'm sitting right here. I would have preferred to get to a little bit of a safer area, but I feel, and you can tell I'm thinking that as I'm running around, but I just couldn't find a safe spot. For anybody who's not familiar with these exfils, once it starts turning, you can get into it. So once you see the top start spinning, you can get into it. Smoking the exfil and getting in. Just keep moving. You don't want to die now that you're so close to the end. All right, so there it is. We got out. Overall, a really good run. We got 2 player kills. We got our contract done, and we got out with some more loot than we brought in. So that's awesome. I hope this helped you out. If you're new to extraction shooters, I know there's a lot to think about there. I know it can be complicated. It can be overwhelming, but it comes down to a lot of little decisions in your raid. I think the number one thing I would pass on is what we talked about in the beginning is the beginning of a raid is the most important time. It's when you're most likely to run into other people. So the decisions you make at that time are really important. As the raid goes on, you can take more risk. But in the beginning, everybody's running around and you need to make as little noise as possible. If you can hear somebody before they hear you, it gives you a big advantage, as I saw in both of those gunfights that I was in. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to come over and give me a follow over on Twitch, and it'd be greatly appreciated. I'll see you on the next one.